Hey, it's Alex from Four Course Films. Today I want to talk about reducing your production budget. And this is something that you would go into a bidding scenario with, and this is maybe some questions that you would ask or maybe some topics that you would bring up to be able to reduce your production budget. So let's get into it. The first thing is the straight up resources like gear and crew. You want to understand if the amount of crew that you have on and the type of crew that you have on is required to achieve this, if there's any spare, if there is any spare, why they are there, and just get an understanding of the departments. If you don't understand it, you should ask questions. And if you feel like there might be some extra in there, have a conversation about how to get it out or how to justify it being there. Same thing goes with gear. Of course, if there's glaring things like an extra camera or things like that, that's going to be really obvious. But even your lighting budget or your grip budget or your art budget, these are things that you want to have a good, healthy understanding of where that money is going and why. If you don't know immediately by looking at the budget where that money is going, you should ask the question. You'll probably get an answer that'll teach you something and that will satisfy your concerns and your curiosities about that budget. Along the same lines of gear and crew is addressing changeovers or location moves or moving your set from one location to another or one area of a location to another area of a location. A lot of times extra gear and extra crew is needed to be able to account for that in the day. In other words, sometimes it makes more sense to add an extra person or an extra 2 people or an extra 3 people to help a changeover rather than risk OT on the entire crew having to shoot later and later because of a long location move. So these are discussions that you're going to want to have. You'll also want to have those discussions so you can decide if that location move is necessary or if changing sets from here over to this distant area is really necessary, because that is going to increase the amount of gear and crew and time that you're going to need to achieve that production. It's a give and take scenario. You got to have these conversations and you got to walk away with them with everyone being satisfied that you gave up something creatively or that you gave an opportunity to be able to remove that crew or remove that gear to save that money. It can't just be an arbitrary cut because those things are always there for a reason. Any good EP or any good producer is only going to bid things that are required to make the production efficiently and effectively happen. So if you cut anything away, you got to have a good reason for it. So all of that to say, don't cut things that need to be there because it will bite you later on. I hope this was helpful and I wish you a lot of luck in your next production. Thanks a lot.